Hi everyone, it's day 6 of our 30-day challenge, and I'm just wanting to talk to you about things. Yesterday you met my daughter Alexandra, and she sort of talked about how having a strong sense of self has helped her, and tomorrow you'll be hearing from my husband David and how what we have learned and developed and created in our own lives has helped him to have a strong sense of his self. So today we're going to talk about stop letting your turf define your worth. So what do I mean by that? So your turf is where you stand. It is the people that surround you. So it could be, your birth home, it could be your school, your workplace, any space where you are. And what we tend to do if we don't have a strong sense of self is allow other people to define our worth, what we think and feel about ourselves. So it could be maybe from the birth family, your parents, your siblings have said you are no good, you should be seen and not heard, all that sort of negative stuff and you take that on board because we don't know how to, sort of stop those sayings and stop what people sort of say, and we take it internally, and then we sort of say to ourselves, well, I must be unworthy, and, nobody, I don't deserve to be loved, or, that type of thing. So what ends up happening is that in order for us to cope and survive, we get an inner critical voice that tells us we're no good. And that is really, really tough. And we then spend the rest of our lives being dictated to what other people say is our worth and what we believe about ourselves. And it informs what we believe about ourselves. And I did this as a child coming from a dysfunctional family. I did the same thing of feeling as if I'm worthless. I had a big sign on my front saying, abuse me because it's okay. I can take it or not. So we end up, the inner critical voice ends up being this loud, obnoxious, inside voice that just tells us we are worthless. So it attacks and it undermines you, and that did me. And we can think of it as our internal enemy, and threatens you reaching your full potential. Has any of you felt like that? That you've got this loud inner critical voice that is just, so blasting that it blocks out everything that you're dealing with. So how can we deal with this inner voice? How can we calm it down? How can we minimize it? How can we make it go away? It would be awesome. So, all right, let's do 3 ways. I'm into this 3-way thing. So recognize what your voice is saying. So as soon as you hear yourself in a negative sentence, I am worthless, I am stupid, I am fat, ugly, all that type of thing, then recognize it straight away and go, no, I'm stopping. So the first thing that we need to do is to be able to name it, because he is an enemy, and this enemy is trying to not allow you to reach your full potential. So we've got to name it. Now, for example, we called it weight, W8. because it feels like that weight that comes down of us, that we're just, you know, crumbling underneath its voice. Some people have called it darky, doom, icky. But I would sort of say, you know, anything that resonates with you, but what happens if we actually called it flower or petal or snowflake? Something that is so much fun that when you sort of say, hey, snowflake, you're not ruining my future, then it seems to be a little bit more fun and a little bit more laughter, and you can just laugh in its face. So, and one thing is to name it. Then you put all the stuff around what this name, let's call it snowflake, hey, for today. So let's say, you know, snowflake, put everything associated with that around. So all your negative thoughts and feelings that you have, all the inner critical voice, what they're saying, and cover it up. So the second is to then say, what do you want instead? So if your inner critical voice is saying, I'm so stupid, then you immediately turn around and think, okay, it's saying I'm stupid, but what do I want instead? I want to be smart. So now I'm smart. I'm fat and ugly. All right, what do I want instead? I am slim, trim, and beautiful. I'll just get hurt. Okay? But guess what? No one can hurt you unless you give them permission. So it's like, no one's going to hurt me because I don't give them permission. What about I'm not worth loving? Becomes what I want instead. I want to be loved. I'm not good enough. Instead, I am enough. And I can't do that? Yes, I can. I can do that and so much more. And one of the ones is, it'll never work. And say, nah, I've got this. It will work. Right? So the first one was name it. The second one was, what do you want instead? So if you didn't want the negative stuff of what the inner voice is telling you, change it to what you want instead. And then the third one is to be able to identify our inner strengths, because they become our allies, and we can dig deep and grab hold of these and fight that jolly snowflake. It makes me laugh even just saying the name. You know, and just give him what for, because you've got this. So what can be some of your strengths? Well, it could be that you're determined, right? You'll be determined not to allow snowflake here to ruin your future. Maybe you are consistent. So if you consistently not feed in to snowflake, then he's going to get smaller and smaller, and his voice is going to get softer and softer until he disappears altogether. You might have that I'm a person of integrity, that I love humor and laughter. So snowflake, I'm going to laugh in your face because you again are not ruining my future. You might have music, so listening to upbeat music. You might have friends and family and support. You might feel as if you're gutsy, all right? You've got this, you're gutsy. And just sometimes we've got to dig deep and just have grit. So there are 3 things to stop the inner critical voice that undermines you, attacks you, and be able to just put him in his place, give him a name that causes you to laugh and then live your life and reach your full potential. So that's it for today. I hope you've enjoyed this little video. If you like it, please share it with your network, with your friends and family, because they might be struggling too with their inner critical voice. They might be struggling with, you know, the intense negative emotions that happen, like fear, shame, guilt, embarrassment, all those sort of things. And you might be able to help them just by sharing this video in how they can, in turn, get that little inner critical voice, put him in his place, and live your life by your design. So this is Sue Geelan from Metaneo Counselling. You have a wonderful day, and tomorrow you will hear from my husband David. So catch you later. Bye for now.